I have occasional dreams where I'm walking, spontaneous walking, where I'm walking along and it hits me, oh wow, you're walking. And then I have this good feeling. So, yeah, that's tough. Apparently, a lot of people who get West Nile virus don't even know they got it because it just looks like, the typical flu. But there are a significant number of people who get this and have the severe neurological consequences like I've had. The paralysis.
A Metro Atlanta woman is now sharing her story after she ended up in the hospital with the West Nile virus.
I get bit by mosquitoes constantly in the summer. I never thought a thing about it. From my mid-core down, I'm practically paralyzed.
In St. Louis, John Proctor's once healthy 18-year-old son lies paralyzed on a ventilator after John says BB got West Nile virus from a mosquito bite earlier this month.
We have just learned that Dr. Anthony Fauci is recovering from a pretty rare case of West Nile virus.
Dr. Fauci got it around the same time I did. It's not uncommon to have issues with your brain, your mind. I even had some mental confusion early on. It's not like there's a lot they can do. This is kind of one of these things you got to ride out and hope you make a full recovery. Some people don't recover at all. Some recover partially. Some recover fully. I'm hoping I'm in the full recovery. I've been in Atlanta for probably like 40 years. I've been here in Inman Park going on 27 years. It's a cool neighborhood to live in. With porches and people on porches. It's a neighborhood where a lot of the residents are very active, and there's a lot of functions. Before this happened, I loved getting out on the Beltline, walking, running, riding my bike. I'll take my bike to Piedmont Park. Do a few loops around the park.
The first mosquito of 2024 in the hostess city with West Nile virus detected by the Chatham County Mosquito Control.
Cases of the West Nile virus are on the rise across Georgia, including right here in Richmond County.
Health leaders want you to know cases of West Nile virus, which is a mosquito-borne illness, are spiking across the country.
More than 30 states, including Georgia, have been affected so far.
I had some back pain, so I went in for that. They gave me a muscle relaxer, painkiller, shot me with a steroid. I went home, I was feeling fine. And then that night, and then through the next day, I just started having some strange symptoms like fatigued and not feeling well. And I was talking to a friend on the phone, and she's like, I think you need to go back into the clinic because there's something else going on here. This isn't back pain. I went to the urgent care or critical care. They were running a lot of tests, doing a lot of blood work, and I was there for hours and hours. They eventually said, we think we're gonna send you to the hospital. And I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital. Yeah, forget that. And they're like, you can't even walk. I went to the hospital, and then it's just kind of a blur. I only vaguely recall getting wheeled out of the room for one test after another. It was a number of days before they came back and said that one of those tests revealed it was West Nile virus.
A mosquito bite.
It's causing havoc on his body.
The pain is excruciating.
The muscle strength is gone.
It kind of took a while to sink in the fact that I couldn't move my legs. Kind of surreal. It's like, what do you mean? West Nile, and I didn't know much about it. I was 2 weeks in the regular hospital. Then I was 3 weeks at rehab hospital. I couldn't really dress myself, and I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. Well, I'm heading into my kitchen, which is a little bit messy on that side, so don't get that. But I have to make sure that things are where I can reach them, right? So I have to make sure that if somebody else is putting things back, that they don't put it too high. So I've got my coffee mugs up there. I'm able to reach most things in the refrigerator and freezer. Again, it can't be up high. I make my own coffee with my Keurig and typically make my own breakfast. I was not much of a cook before this, but I would cook meals multiple times a week. And so I have done that here. It's hard from a wheelchair. On the other hand, I was happy to be able to do it and to just have something to do. A key part of my at-home exercise routine is to get myself up at this walker. It's weight-bearing. As I've gotten stronger, increasingly, I can support more and more of my weight. I can't yet stand on my own, but I can now pull myself up from my chair onto the walker, and I'll hold it as long as I can, and I'll do some little squats or alternate, bending one knee after another. So that's been a big part of the at-home routine. The further along I get, the more I realize I've got a ways to go. But I also realize I've come a long ways. I guess what I do is I thrive on progression. So focus on the gain that you've made, not the gap that remains. When the physical therapist tells me, what you just did, you could not have done that 2 weeks ago when you were here. That kind of stuff keeps me going. This has been a whole body recovery. It's not just my legs. I lost muscle everywhere. Core strength is critical to get up and stand. I have 2 adult-age kids that are in their 20s. They've been great. I was fortunate to have them here. They had to really help me out a lot in the early going. Basically be caretakers for me. At the beginning, I'm sure they were quite scared. I suspect they thought I was going to die. They lost their mother to cancer. And then seeing me go through this, I'm sure they were quite scared. I don't think people realize that you can get bit by a mosquito and have these severe consequences. Granted, the chances I would think are pretty small, but it happened to me. It's happened to others even around here. So I think people should know that so that they'll pay more attention to trying to prevent mosquito bites. I would hate for this to get worse, that for whatever reason there's more mosquitoes out there carrying this. From a public health standpoint, I think this warrants work done towards a vaccine. Now, I understand there's challenges with that. Apparently, here in the US, the number of cases aren't high enough, or at least not consistent enough, to get a good trial of a vaccine. So it would need to be a global effort. It may sound kind of corny, but you go through something like this, and you realize that you can appreciate just being alive. And simple things. Just enjoying beauty of nature. I think in an odd way, it's helped me and will help me to be a better person. I have this goal of learning Spanish and traveling to a Spanish-speaking country and doing a bike tour. Something made me come up with that. But that's kind of, something to look ahead to, right? When I get back on my feet. In case I can't get to where I need to be to do that bike tour, I will still need to live my life. So I think in the meantime, I'm going to do that. So I guess that's the answer.